Hazel, Frank, that's it. That's the warship, and if I know anything, Annabeth's on that ship. Wow, you were not kidding about the warship. It is nice to see you excited though. I mean, if you disappeared the same time as Jason did, you haven't seen your girlfriend in like a year, have you? Oh my gosh, you're right. I forgot because I've been asleep, but it's been 8 months. I am screwed. What do you mean you're screwed? Yeah, it's just Annabeth has severe abandonment issues, and in the time I was gone, I definitely missed both our anniversary and her birthday. I'm sure she understands it's not your fault. You literally got kidnapped. Frank, I love you, man, but at the same time, you've had a girlfriend for all of 5 minutes. Believe me, she is pissed. And unless Hallmark has a card that says, "I'm sorry, an Olympian bitch kidnapped me," the only thing I can think of is to let her attack me. Percy, calm down and listen to me, your big cuddly Canadian. I'm sure she's not going to attack you. Oh no, she's definitely gonna attack me. 50% chance she goes for her knife. If she doesn't have that on her, she's probably gonna kiss me so my defenses are down, and then go for the judo flip. So I'm gonna stretch so this doesn't hurt as bad. Do either of you have an Altoid?
Hi, my name is Snapple. My background consists of watermelon and lemonade. The more you open this door and the more you hold me,
What the fuck am I fucking doing here? You think I wanna play fucking boom clap in a fucking college? Are you joking? 14. Percy. Percy had seen Frank surrounded by cannibal ogres, facing down an unkillable giant, and even unleashing Thanatos, the god of death. But he'd never seen Frank look as terrified as he did now, finding the two of them passed out in the stables. What? Percy rubbed his eyes. Oh, we just fell fell asleep. Frank swallowed. He was dressed in running shoes, dark cargo pants, and a Vancouver Winter Olympics t-shirt with his Roman centurion badge pinned to the neck, which seemed either sad or hopeful to Percy, now that they were renegades. Frank averted his eyes as if the sight of them together might burn him. Everyone thinks you've been kidnapped, he said. We've been scouring the ship. When Coach Hedge finds out, oh, gods, have you been here all night? Frank. Annabeth's ears were as red as strawberries. We came down here to talk. We fell asleep accidentally. That's it. Kissed a couple times, Percy said. Annabeth glared at him. Not helping. We'd better. Frank pointed to the stable doors. We're supposed to meet for breakfast. Would you explain what you did? I mean, didn't do? I mean, I really don't want that fawn. I mean, satyr to kill me. Frank ran. When everyone finally gathered in the mess hall, it wasn't quite as bad as Frank had feared. Jason and Piper were mostly relieved. Leo couldn't stop grinning and muttering, "Classic. Classic." Only Hazel seemed scandalized, maybe because she was from the 1940s. She kept fanning her face and wouldn't meet Percy's eyes. Naturally, Coach Hedge went ballistic, but Percy found it hard to take the satyr seriously since he was barely 5 feet tall. Never in my life! Coach bellowed, waving his bat and knocking over a plate of apples. Against the rules! Irresponsible! Coach, Annabeth said,
It was an accident. We were talking and we fell asleep. Besides, Percy said, you're starting to sound like Terminus. Hedge narrowed his eyes. Is that an insult, Jackson? 'Cause I'll terminus you, buddy. Percy tried not to laugh. It won't happen again, Coach. I promise. Now, don't we have other things to discuss? Hedge fumed. Fine. But I'm watching you, Jackson. And you, Annabeth Chase, I thought you had more sense. Jason cleared his throat. So, grab some food, everybody. Let's get started.
No, did you just sit here and say that my daughter looks miserable, so maybe we should put Kalani in her place?
No, I never said that.
Yes, you most certainly did.
No, I didn't, dingbat. Listen! I said, Brooke, is your mother
Get
speaking
your
for
finger
you? Do you
out
want to
of
be
my face!
Girls out the room!
Yeah, you would
Out
eat
the
me.
room!
Get away from me!
I've never seen you act like this.
Oh, really? Oh, in the months that you know me, you've never seen me act this way? Hey, no offense, Emily, but you don't really know what you're talking about, do you?
I just wanna be part of your Let the air
Can't you just leave me alone?
I know you know who I am.
Why didn't you go with her?
And if you fall, and if you fall, hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. Every time you love me, take me, my drug is my baby. I'll be using for the rest of my life.
Deku had just reached the ladder when a sharp pain shot up Annabeth's bad leg. She gasped and stumbled. "What is it?" Percy asked. She tried to stagger toward the ladder. Why was she moving backward instead? Her leg swept out from under her and she fell on her face. "Her ankle!" Hazel shouted from the ladder. "Cut it! Cut it!" Annabeth's mind was woolly from the pain. Cut her ankle? Apparently Percy didn't realize what Hazel meant either. Then something yanked Annabeth backward and dragged her toward the pit. Percy lunged. He grabbed her arm, but the momentum carried him along as well. "Help them!" Hazel yelled. Annabeth glimpsed Nico hobbling in their direction. Hazel trying to disentangle her cavalry sword from the rope ladder. Their other friends were still focused on the statue, and Hazel's cry was lost in the general shouting and the rumbling of the cavern. Annabeth sobbed as she hit the edge of the pit. Her legs went over the side. Too late, she realized what was happening. She was tangled in the spider silk. She should have cut it away immediately. She had thought it was just loose line, but with the entire floor covered in cobwebs, she hadn't noticed that one of the strands was wrapped around her foot, and the other end went straight into the pit. It was attached to something heavy down in the darkness, something that was pulling her in. "No," Percy muttered, light dawning in his eyes. "My sword!" But he couldn't reach Riptide without letting go of Annabeth's arm. And Annabeth's strength was gone. She slipped over the edge. Percy fell with her. Her body slammed into something. She must have blacked out briefly from the pain. When she could see again, she realized that she'd fallen partway into the pit and was dangling over the void. Percy had managed to grab a ledge about 15 feet below the top of the chasm. He was holding on with one hand, gripping Annabeth's wrist with the other, but the pull on her leg was much too strong. "No escape," said a voice in the darkness below. "I go to Tartarus, and you will come too." Annabeth wasn't sure if she actually heard Arachne's voice or if it was just in her mind. The pit shook. Percy was the only thing keeping her from falling. He was barely holding on to a ledge the size of a bookshelf. Nico leaned over the edge of the chasm. thrusting at his hand, but he was much too far away to help. Hazel was yelling for the others, but even if they heard her over all the chaos, they'd never make it in time. Annabeth's leg felt like it was pulling free of her body. Pain washed everything in red. The force of the underworld tugged at her like dark gravity. She didn't have the strength to fight. She knew she was too far down to be saved. Percy, let me go, she croaked. You can't pull me up. His face was white with effort. She could see in his eyes that he knew it was hopeless. Never, he said. He looked up at Nico, 15 feet above. The other side, Nico. We'll see you there, understand? Nico's eyes widened. But lead them there, Percy shouted. Promise me. I will. Below them, the voice laughed in the darkness. Sacrifices. Beautiful sacrifices to wake the goddess. Percy tightened his grip on Annabeth's wrist. His face was gaunt, scraped and bloody, his hair dusted with cobwebs. But when he locked eyes with her, she thought he had never looked more handsome. We're staying together, he promised. You're not getting away from me. Never again. Only then did she understand what would happen. A one-way trip. A very hard fall. As long as we're together, she said. She heard Nico and Hazel still screaming for help. She saw the sunlight far, far above. Maybe the last sunlight she would ever see. Then Percy let go of his tiny ledge, and together, holding hands, he and Annabeth fell into the endless darkness.